please salute the nation's flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In attendance tonight are Supervisors Fisher, Aguizio, Casiola, Savavik, and Fleer. In addition, Township Manager Don Januso, Jack King, Director of Planning, and Assistant Township Manager Sean Bukovinsky, Chief of Police, Bill Waddock, Director of Public Works, he's not here, Engineer Dan Dyersroth of Gateway Engineers, and Township Solicitor Gretchen Moore. Comments will be taken at this time for any item to be voted on by the board that appears on the agenda. General township comments or questions will be addressed after the Board of Supervisors discussion of old business. Please step to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Leaf collection will continue. Leaf collection will continue until Wednesday, November 24th. Leaves will be picked up Monday through Thursday during this period. Bagged leaves are to be placed out in biodegradable bags. Loose leaves must be raked to the curb. The Cecil Township Historical Society will meet on Wednesday, November 17th, 2021 at 7 p.m. in the meeting room of the municipal building. Following CDC guidelines, masks are recommended but not required. The municipal offices will be closed on Thursday, November 11th, 2021 in observance of Veterans Day holiday. Normal business hours will resume on Friday, November 12th, 2021 at 8 a.m. The municipal offices will be closed on Thursday and Friday, November 25th and 26th in observance of the Thanksgiving holiday. Normal business hours will resume at 8 a.m. on Monday, November 29th, 2021. 17th Annual Toys for Tots Drive Toys for Tots Drive will be on Saturday, December 4th, 2021 at 9 a.m. to noon at the Cecil Township Public Works Garage. Bring a new unwrapped toy valued at $5 or greater. Monetary donations are accepted. Make checks payable to the Greater Washington Toys for Tots. This year's Toys for Tots will be in honor of and memory of former Chief Bill Capps. If you notice, tonight's agenda is a little different than in the past. In the past, we would have had new business and old business at the end. This time, because we've listened to the residents and to the board members who've complained about not having enough time to really think through some agenda items, we're going to start with discussion items. These are items that will be discussed amongst our board, or presentations will be made by our township professionals. But there will be no formal vote taken on any of these items this evening. So if you have any comments or questions about them, please feel free, as you're recognized by the chair, to ask those questions, but there will be no formal vote taken on any of those. After we get through those discussion items, we will then move on to resolutions, which those are items that there will be a formal vote taken on.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. Tonight on the discussion items, I think I'm going to handle a couple of those. We have some guests also. So for the first item, if the board recalls, we were here, I believe, in July to make a presentation to the board regarding the Public Works facility. As a result of that meeting, you asked us to do some things. So in the audience tonight is Kevin Nadelin. He's the project manager for the building from our office. Our architect, Eric Lynn from LLI, and Jamie White, the president of LLI. He's also here. He's a Hickory guy, so he was right down the road. So they're here tonight. If you have any questions, I'm just going to give you a brief on what's happened since July. The board asked us to do a number of different things. So the first thing I'm going to call up is the rendering of the site. This is Klinger Road. As you recall, we're making this big flat pad. In fact, we had the meeting on Friday with Mike Stewart to start the work, and we had a pre-construction meeting. So Mike is going to be on his way to actually clearing this site and getting ready to start the grading up here. And this is the first piece of the site to be developed. This would be the Public Works building. And what the board had asked us to do, we'll talk a little bit about the building in a minute, but first thing you asked us to do was get correct solar orientation on the building. So if you recall, there was a different layout before, but we've rotated the building. So now you'll drive in off of Klinger Road. You can make a left-hand turn. It actually works out very well. These will be the offices here shown in white that you can park if you're working in the building, you want to enter the building. The administrative offices are going to be in here, the fabrication shop, and then the mechanics garages will be on this end of the building. And then this is the big long bay to hold all the equipment. So we got the reorientation of the site as the board had asked us to do. The second thing the board asked us to do was to go back and really pin down the floor plan of the building. This is a colored version of it, and what's happened, and I'll summarize this in a minute, is that the architects have optimized the size of this garage building. When we started out with this, we were at about 29,000 square feet. It's been reduced down to about 26,000 square feet in total, and that includes this piece of red right here, the blue, and the green. This would all be the storage area for the building, for the trucks. So that was a big savings. They tightened things up just a little bit after talking to Public Works, to Bill and how they could park the vehicles and the type of vehicles. So we skinnied that down somewhat. The second thing that happened to the building was this piece here is where the trucks will be worked on. There's a pit here for working on vehicles where the guys can get down in the pit. And then there'll be the ability for some lifts in these two bays as you move from the right to the left. So this piece, this corner piece right here, is all the place where the trucks will be worked on. And then the other part of the Public Works operation is the fabrication shop. This fabrication shop has been adjusted in size also. And then finally, the office sizes have been optimized downward to make sure that there was no redundant space or anything extra that would be looked at. So in summary, the footprint was reviewed for maximum efficiency. The office went from 3,400 square feet down to 2,650 square feet. The fab shop went from 2,100 square feet down to 1,910 square feet. And the mechanic shop was reduced from 4,600 to 4,000. So that alone in savings of square footage based upon the average cost that it would be for each element of this construction cut about $340,000 in the building. So I think we accomplished what the board wanted us to do in terms of optimization of the building itself. And then, as we said before, the garage was reduced from 29,500 down to 26,350. That was a reduction of 3,150 square feet, and that has a value of about $400,000. So between those two different items, we've again tried to pay attention to cost, understanding, that we want to build something here for the future, but we don't want to overdo anything. So I think we've accomplished that. So the plan would be to still bid the garage with a base size of about 20,000 square feet with 2 add-ons, just to make sure that we stay within budget and there's still an opportunity to pick and choose. But the optimal size would be this 26,350. So that's the summary. I guess at that point I'll just stop and ask if the board has any questions.
Quick question. How many vehicles did we say we had that last time we were discussing this? Bill, do you know offhand? All right. They'll all fit inside?
Not all of them. The trucks that we use on a daily basis, winter maintenance operations and stuff, We'll still have a few parked outside.
This building is way too small. You got all the paving equipment's gonna be sitting outside. You're gonna have bobcats sitting outside. You're gonna have a ceiling that you use silver joints with sitting outside. I mean, why are we doing the building? It's too small. We're gonna have a lot of equipment sitting outside. You're gonna have two backhoes, right?
We have two backups.
Yeah, and your high lift, and your paver, and two bobcats.
Well, the trucks that we have that are still going to remain outside are the brine trucks. There's two brine trucks that will remain out in the outbuildings also.
The long-term plan is to put up whole buildings that wouldn't be needed for additional equipment. But again, we're just trying to get off the ground. There's plenty of room. This just shows the minimum, but there's the ability to put in whole buildings in this direction. Again, that's what I'm seeing most people do. I mean, you want to keep your vehicles that your guys are going to use, your salt trucks, your high-end cost vehicles in a heated space, and then you would keep any other equipment that you just want to keep out of the elements, to keep it in unheated pole buildings with just electricity in it. That's the best spend of your money that way. So, though I think this accomplishes, the base bid accomplishes getting the trucks all inside, which is most important.
Those vehicles and equipment that are most critical to our operation are able to get inside that building. The other equipment, we can keep in cold storage outside.
So,
Or unheated.
And you'll still have the existing public works garage, the things that you're not using every day. You could use that facility until such time as,
Right, until the outbuildings are constructed.
until you move on to a future phase.
so if I understand what you're saying, essentially this is almost like a phase one. So this would be phase one, and then the future plan would be additional storage as we can afford it and it becomes needed.
Right.
Bill, but when you're talking about the equipment that might be outside, or Ron was talking about it, was that assuming that we don't take the optional bids on the bigger space?
Yeah, Tom, we're still gonna have some equipment outside.
No matter which,
You can't build that building big enough to get everything inside, and quite frankly, there's no need to do that. Some of that equipment is well stored outside in an unheated facility, as long as it's undercover and not exposed to the elements. That's what really does the damage, is being exposed to the elements, you know what I mean? So, off-season equipment such as the paver, the craft coat machine, the crack sealer machine, the Windy 400s that we use for leak pickup, those can all be stored in auxiliary storage out away from the heated facility. What we're trying to do is accommodate the equipment that we use that are critical to our operation, because, of course, I think winter operations is the most important thing that we do as a department, and we want to make sure that equipment's inside and ready to go, that we're able to work on it and store it in a ready condition. This facility here will allow us to do that. It allows us to bring that plow in, drop it in front of the truck in its own bay, or keep it on the truck within the bay. If we end up night operations at midnight, and expect to call the guys back out at 5 o'clock in the morning, that truck sits there with the plow still attached to it. All they have to do is come in, report, do the pre-check on the truck, and then it's ready to go out of the garage and back into service. So currently, what we have to do to get the equipment in the garage is to drop the plow and then put it back on again when we call back out. And many times, we come back out in 4 or 5 hours later in time to beat the morning rush to clear the roads for the residents. So, I mean, we're looking at this right now. It doesn't satisfy the needs we have as a department currently. It does indeed. And is there an opportunity to expand the building down the road as the community and the department develop? Absolutely. So we're confident that this is going to work for us right now.